I want to share my feelings about infertility with you because I want you to understand my struggle. I know that understanding infertility is difficult. There are times when it seems even I don't understand. This struggle has provoked intense and unfamiliar feelings in me, and I fear that my reactions to these feelings might be misunderstood. I hope my ability to cope and your ability to understand will improve as I share my feelings with you. I want you to understand. You may describe me this way: obsessed, moody, helpless, depressed, envious, too serious, obnoxious, aggressive, antagonistic, and cynical. These aren't very admirable traits. No wonder your understanding of my infertility is difficult. I prefer to describe myself this way: confused, rushed and impatient, afraid, isolated and alone, guilty and ashamed, angry, sad and hopeless, and unsettled. My infertility makes me feel guilty and ashamed. Frequently, I forget that infertility is a medical problem and should be treated as one. Infertility destroys my self-esteem and I feel like a failure. Why am I being punished? What did I do to deserve this? Am I not worthy of a baby? I need you to be supportive. Understand that my decisions aren't made casually. I'm agonized over them. I've agonized over them. Remind me that you respect these decisions even if you disagree with them, because you know they are made carefully. You can help me. I know you care about me, and I know my infertility affects our relationship. My sadness causes you sadness. What hurts me hurts you too. I believe we can help each other through this sadness. Individually, we both seem quite powerless, but together, we can be stronger. Encourage me to maintain my sense of humor. Guide me to find joys. Celebrate with me my successes, even ones as small as making it through a medical appointment without crying. Remind me that I am more than an infertile person. Help me by sharing your strength. Eventually, I'll be beyond the struggle of infertility. I know my infertility will never completely go away because it will change my life. I won't be able to return to the person I was before infertility, but I also will no longer be controlled by this struggle. I will leave the struggle behind me, and from that, I will have improved my skills for empathy, patience, resilience, forgiveness, decision-making, and self-assessment. I feel grateful that you are trying to ease my journey through this infertility struggle by giving me your understanding. Hi everyone, my name is Ruby Suze. I hope you're well. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and check out my playlist all about infertility. I share faith, family, fertility and lock videos. I want to tell you why on my journey I hated Mother's Day, and I'll tell you a story. So for those of you who don't know, I had to have my tubes removed due to them being blocked, and so I had that surgery I want to say almost 7 years ago now. Yeah, I think 7 years ago I had my tubes removed, which meant that obviously I can't ever get pregnant naturally. So as you can imagine, I was completely heartbroken by that news. So after having being told the news that my tubes wouldn't be needed to have taken out, I remember that there was a Mother's Day. I remember coming to church, and actually, to be honest, my mind was all over the place. I didn't really want to be there. But, you know, that's what I do as a Christian. You know, you go to church on a Sunday, or you go to church on Sunday. So I remember getting all dressed up and coming into church and seeing, you know, church had been decorated. People had gone to great lengths to decorate the church, and there was balloons everywhere, and it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful, beautiful sight. And I remember hearing lots of people wishing each other happy Mother's Day, and my head was just really foggy. And I just remember walking into church. Praise and worship was amazing, and I really do engage a lot in praise and worship. So there I am, engaged in praise and worship, and then it's time to wish mums, happy Mother's Day. And what I remember is, mums being asked to stand up. So everybody in the house who's a mum, raise your hand or stand up, and they all stood up. And I remember looking around me and being the only one in that particular section, or it felt, I might not have been, to be honest, I felt like I was the only one sat down. And I felt like the spotlight was on me. So all these mums got up and they got their gift. And then the next call was, if you're looking to get pregnant, if you're waiting on God for the fruit of the womb, stand up as well. And I remember standing up and just being really sad. And I know everything that was said. I know that prayers like that come from a place of love. They're not come from a place of embarrassment or shame, which is why I identify so much with what was written in this book by Brene Brown, because it's this conflict. There is this conflict. And the conflict is, you are trusting God, right? You're trusting God that you are going to have a child, you are going to be pregnant. But at the same time, there is this ache of the reality of right now, the pain of right now. And I remember feeling absolutely dreadful. My heart goes out every single year to that woman who is sat down instead of stood up, being stood up, is conflicted in their emotions, is feeling like it's just not fair, or someone who should have been cradling their child is not able to cradle their child this particular Mother's Day. It's just a really difficult time, and it's hard because you want to escape. But it's like trying to escape Christmas. You can't escape Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, you can't escape it. It's in the shops, it's on the TV, it's everywhere. You're going to work and you go up the stairs, and from the tube station just today, walking up the stairs, at the top of the stairs is a card shop, and plastered across the shop is Happy Mother's Day. And it breaks my heart, and it hurts. It really hurts, because you're reminded of something that you desperately want but don't have. There is a lot of shame, incredible amount of shame linked to infertility, and it doesn't make any sense to me logically when I think about it. Why should we be ashamed of something that is a medical problem? It really makes no sense. Somehow we've linked it to our womanhood, and we've felt that because we can't do this thing, we should be ashamed of ourselves. And there's been a lot of experiences that I've gone through in my life, some of which I've shared, some of which I haven't shared, that have made me realise that I've carried a lot of shame around with me. Shame is saying that I am a problem. I am a problem. So you personalize it rather than saying that is a problem or I made a mistake. It's saying I am a mistake. And that sounds really heavy, but that's the truth of what sometimes you go through. So for example, with infertility, you will say, I am a problem. I am infertile. I am, you own it, you personalize it. I remember thinking on that journey, that on the fertility journey, that this is just not fair. This is evil. This is a curse. This is God smiting me for all my mistakes. And do you know what? Even if that is the case, which it is not, because God is in the business of mercy, right? He's in the business of grace and forgiveness. That is his business. That's his bread and butter. That's what he does every single day. Even if you feel like you've made all the mistakes in the world possible, right? God can use those mistakes. He has used those mistakes. I remember the amount of things that I did wrong and the way that I lived my life, and maybe the health choices I made, and maybe even the relationships I had chosen before I met Christ. I thought maybe this is like God punishing me, but actually my whole journey is showing me that He had a plan for everything that I went through, every relationship that I went through. He had a plan, and He has a plan for you. I don't know where this is coming from. I'm not even sure if I'm going to put this in the video, but I really feel all of a sudden, if your shame is around because you feel that it's your fault, right? If you feel that this is your fault because you perhaps have had a sexual history you're not particularly proud of, if you feel that maybe you've had abortions or you've made health choices in the past that weren't right? I'm reaching out to tell you that you don't need to be ashamed. God loves you, like He loved you right in the middle of your sin, right? That's what God says. He loves you right in the middle of your sin. There is no sin that you could have committed ever. There is no sin you could have ever committed that will change the amount of love He has for you right now, then, before, or after. His love for you is not because of you. Like, it's not because of your behavior. It's not because of what you do. It's nothing that you could ever do could change the way He loves you, right? So everything that the devil's trying to torment you from the past, every memory, and saying you are infertile because you did this, or you slept with this person, or you slept with these many people, or you had this abortion, or you treated your body wrong, or it's because you're too fat or you're too thin, or you don't pray enough, or you don't do this enough, or it's because you don't go to this. Those are all lies. And the devil every single day sends out lies to discourage us, to pull us down. And I'm here to tell you that those lies are not the truth. The truth is that God loves you so much. And yes, it is painful right now, and it feels like punishment right now. But I'm telling you that I know the God that I serve will reach out to you, and He's going to comfort you, and He's going to make doors open for you. He's going to ensure that the children you are craving after will be in your arms. He's done it time and time and time and time again, and He will never fail you, nor will He forsake you. His word does not return void. And all of that might sound like Christianese, but basically what I'm saying to you is, when God says something, you best believe He is going to make sure it comes to be. And even beyond, even if you don't see what it is, even if you don't see the promise, even if you in this life, as cruel as it might be, it never comes to pass, the glory that is coming for you is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. So I know on Mother's Day you might want to stay underneath the duvet, and that's fine. I'm giving you permission. Give yourself permission. But the day after that, and the day after that, God is there waiting for you. He's there waiting for you. And He will hold you every Mother's Day after.